Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, The Walking Dead is on its ninth season, and Carl Grimes was a character that was on the entire show until the middle of the eighth season, where he was killed off. There is some debate going around about the circumstances that led to Carl's death in the show. Some people are saying Scott Gimple just wanted a surprise death. Some people are saying that they killed off Carl because at the time they killed off Carl, they already knew that Andrew Lincoln, the actor that played Rick, was leaving, and they didn't want Carl to just take over as the main character because the actor that plays Carl wasn't good enough to lead the show. So they decided to kill off Carl first and then have Rick leave so that Carl would not be the main character of the show since he just wasn't good enough. Some people are saying that AMC didn't want to pay Chandler Riggs and they asked that he be killed off. I don't know. It's just sort of a debate about the circumstances. But what's done is done. Carl is dead. Carl was killed off in season 8. And in season 9, a lot of Carl's comic story is going to the character of Henry. And some people don't like Henry. Some people hate Henry. Some people love Henry. Some people are okay with Henry. But Henry is the character that is having the romance with the character of Lydia. And if they had followed the comics and they had kept Carl alive because Carl is still alive in the comics, Carl would have had that storyline with Lydia. So some people think that they should have kept Carl alive. They should have given Carl his comic story, and they should have had Carl, have the romance with Lydia and this and that. The thing that I struggle with is Carl had a big romance with Enid. I mean, I know they only kissed one time, but they had a very important relationship and a very important dynamic with each other, and you could tell it was romantic. I mean, it's not like Daryl and Carol where some people are like, oh, they're just friends, or oh, Carol's like a motherly figure to Daryl. No, Carl and Enid were romantic. I mean, they hadn't like fucked or anything, but I mean, they were still growing up. They were young, and I think if Carl had survived to season 9, they definitely would have hit it off. Carl and Enid would have been very, very close together, romantically involved. They'd be dating and everything. I think Carl and Enid would have been the next Glenn and Maggie. But since Carl died in season 8, that was kind of cut short, and we never really saw where those characters could have gone. But it was very clear to me at least, that Carl and Enid were romantic, and they were going to really become a couple and be together if Carl had not died. So that kind of makes me wonder, well, where would have Lydia come into that? If season 9, I mean, what if they'd done the time jump? I mean, the multi-year time jump. I mean, yeah, Carl and Enid would have been very close. I mean, they would have both been like 20 years old. Basically, it would have been Enid and Alden, except with Carl instead of Alden. That's where those characters would be. So Enid and Carl would have been very close. So how would they have done the Lydia storyline? I mean, for one thing, if Carl and Enid were like 20 years old, and if they had done a time jump, Carl and Enid would be 20 years old. I mean, Lydia's supposed to be like, what, 16, 17? Isn't she like 15 in the comics? So she might have been like too young for Carl. I mean, I don't know. I guess, Cassidy McClincy, she's 18 right now, I believe. And Chandler Riggs is 19 or 20, so I guess that could have worked. But then what? Are we going to have a love triangle between Carl, Enid, and Lydia? I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Carl doesn't seem like the love triangle type. He doesn't seem like the type of person that would cheat on his girlfriend. If he loves Enid, he loves Enid. He's not gonna cheat on her with Lydia. He's not gonna break up with Lydia. I mean, I think if they had kept Carl on the show, Lydia probably would have been like a platonic thing, like Carl and Lydia would have been friends, or something to that effect. I don't know. I wasn't even sure if they were going to put Lydia on the show. I thought maybe it would just be Alpha and Beta, since the show had Enid, and it seemed pretty clear cut that Enid was Carl's love interest. I mean, in the comics, Carl didn't really have a love interest. There was Sophia, but they were really just friends and everything. So Carl was really like, Lydia was really Carl's first love interest. but in the show, Carl had Enid. So I don't know. I don't know where Lydia would have played into that. I think, killing off Carl. For one thing, I'm not someone that's against Carl's death in season 8. I don't think that Chandler Riggs was that good of an actor. I don't think he was. I think that season 8 of The Walking Dead needed a strong, sad death that would have been enough to motivate Rick to not kill Negan. After all the shit that Negan did, after violently killing Abraham and Glenn, this one character that's close to Rick dies, and in their final moments, they tell Rick to be a better person and to find a way besides killing. So Rick honors them by locking Negan up instead of killing Negan. It would have had to have taken a big sad death in season 8 for Rick to do that. And I think, season 8, All Out War, you needed a really big sad main cast member death. A lot of people thought it was going to be Morgan. I did not want it to be Morgan. I feel like when Carl first showed that bite, when he first lifted up his shirt and revealed that he was bitten, that was the moment for me where I was like, oh shit, they're not killing off Morgan, they're killing off Carl instead. And I like that. I would trade Carl for Morgan any day of the fucking week. Lenny James is a badass actor. He's 10 times better than Carl's actor. He's 10 times better than Chandler Riggs. 100 times better than Chandler Riggs. I never really liked Chandler Riggs' performance as Carl that much. He was okay in the first couple of seasons, but that's because he was literally like a 9-year-old kid. In season 3, season 4 especially, that's when Carl started to really have some weak moments because of the actor. I remember it was season 4, episode 9, right after Herschel's death. The episode is entirely dedicated to Carl and Michonne. It has Rick, but Rick spends most of the episode being unconscious. So it's mostly Carl and Michonne walks around the jungle, and Carl pouts and is just whiny and Chandler. I just didn't like Chandler Riggs' performance. I just thought I don't think he really gave it everything he had. I just think it was kind of half-assed. And I was kind of frustrated with him because that was really Carl's time to shine, was that episode. It was a big episode for Carl, and Carl had gotten so much screen time, and the actor just kind of phoned it in. And there's so many moments in season 5 and season 6 and season 7 where I felt like Chandler Riggs just wasn't trying that hard. I felt like he was just phoning it in. It was just half-assed. He wasn't doing a very good job, and I was unhappy with his performance. So when Carl got killed off, I was like, yay, thank goodness, get rid of the dead weight. I mean, yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against Carl's death, especially with Rick leaving. I don't want Carl to be the main character of The Walking Dead. Hell no. No, Chandler Riggs would not have done a good job. He definitely half-assed it. He even admitted recently that he half-assed it. He didn't really put everything he had into the part. He admitted it. It's obvious to me that the actor didn't do a very good job, and the actor admitted that he didn't do a very good job. I mean, I don't know what else I can say to add to that opinion other than what I've already said. I just don't think he was that great, and I'm honestly kind of glad that Carl got killed. Especially if I had to choose between Carl and Morgan, I would choose Carl to die 1 billion times over. So, I mean, in a way, that kind of frees up the whole comic Lydia thing, because Carl was already kind of involved with Enid, so now you can have Lydia be with someone else, or just completely. Yeah, you could have had someone else be with Lydia, someone else that's single, and they chose Henry. They chose to give comic Carl's storyline to Henry, and I thought it made perfect sense. Now, I like Henry. I think the actor that plays Henry, Matt Lintz, he's doing a better job than Chandler Riggs ever did. I think he's trying harder than Chandler Riggs ever did. I'm not saying he's perfect, but I do feel like he's doing a better job. He's a better actor than Chandler Riggs. So I completely support Henry and Matt Lintz. I completely support the Henry and Lydia relationship. I think Henry and Lydia is a lot better than Carl and Lydia. I don't know if Carl and Lydia ever would have happened because Carl would have to break up with Enid and be with Lydia. I don't know. That just kind of seems like a mess. Plus Chandler Riggs' half-assed acting. add that to the mix, and it's just, I don't know. I think Henry and Lydia was the right decision to make, and you know, talking about good acting versus bad acting, Cassidy McClincy, oh my God, she is doing a great job as Lydia. She would have just made Chandler Riggs look like an idiot. Just them two together in front of the camera, it would just be plain as day that one actor is 10 times better than the other actor, and that actor, it would be Cassidy McClincy. Cassidy McClincy would have just made Chandler Riggs look like an idiot because they'd be, you know, together. You know, there's that part of your brain that would be comparing them to each other. That you're like, oh, this one actor's really, you know, putting herself in it and doing a really good job with this whole romance thing, and this other actor just acts like he doesn't really care and he's just waiting for his paycheck. You know, no, I don't. I think that killing off Carl was the right thing to do, and Lydia and Henry is a lot better. So I support Henry. I support Matt Lintz, the actor that plays Henry, and I completely support Carl's death in season 8. Anyway, that's all I have for this video, so let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. But yeah, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now, we are at 416 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 500 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts. Every bit of support matters and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 500. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.